Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from the fifth group, and now in this video, we will present about basic approach to literary interpretation. The first is the definition of literary approach. Literary approach are the methods, techniques, and choices that a writer uses to create a literary work is good. A writer can tell a simple love story in multiple ways: revenge, horror, comedy, mystery, and others. A writer chooses where the story begins, ends, and how the story unfolds. A writer chooses the point of view used in telling the tale, the narrative point of view, and omniscience point of view often are more literally stylistic than just the raw tale. The length of the story can be trendy, as is the modern use of flash length, and length is one literary approach decision. The literary approach is the way you intend to convey that tale in writing. Ah, uh, and the next explanation will be presented by my friend.
I will continue the presentation this material. Why should we interpret literature? Although the interpretation of literature can be challenging, it may also provide unique and important reward. Authors of fiction, drama, poetry choose literature for their expression because they believe that there are at least two valid sides to any major issues, not just a simple right and wrong. Reading and interpreting literature then nourishes us with a sense of the complexity of life's deep mysteries, so that when we approach this problem, we do so with greater self-awareness and greater tolerance. We can react angrily, sadness, and etc. Interpretation then is a social act, like we bring to it all of our past experience with people and use, and we come away with an richer, more complex understanding.
Okay, I'm Sheila Yolalesi Vishamanda. Here I want to continue about the explanation after my friends. Okay, here I want to explain about the part C. It is kind of literary interpretation approach. It is about the approach of interpretation literary. Okay, there are two kinds of literary interpretation approach. Uh, there are culture approach and formalistic approach. Okay, firstly I want to tell about the cultural approach. Okay, culture approach is a humanistic approach that focus on environment stakeholders. Okay, this approach is to organizational communication, takes a humanistic look at an organization by considering artifacts, values, and assumptions. Why? Because of the interaction of organizational members. Okay, uh, what are their artifacts? There are norms, standards, and some custom, uh, which is we can see in communication in organization. Okay, because literature as one of the principal manifestation and vehicle of a nation or race, culture and tradition, because of it includes the entire complex of what go under culture, technology, or technological, the artistic, the sociological, the ideological, and others. Okay, for the next is I want to tell about the formalistic approach. Uh, what formalistic approach may be defined as critical approach in which is the next under discussion is considered primarily as a structure of words. Okay. Formalistic approach focus on the arrangement of language rather than on the implication of the words, or on the biographical and historical relevance of the work in question. Okay, that's all about the part C, about the interpretation, literary interpretation approach. That's all. Okay, thank you.
An impressionistic approach literature is viewed to educate, reacting response, which is considered are something very personal, relative, and fruitful, unconditioned by explanation, and often taking the impacts of the piece as a whole. It seeks to see how two pieces has communicate. And physical approach. This approach reflects the effect that modern psychology has had upon both literature and literary critique. Fundamental figures of psychology critique include Sigmund Freud, whose systematic theories change our notions of human behavior by explaining new or differential areas like wish, fundamental sexuality, and reception, as well as expanding our understanding of how language and symbolism operates by demonstrating.
Okay, I am Fitral Ramadan, and now I will explain about sociological approach. This approach examines interactive in the cultural, economic, and political content is which it is written or received, exploring the relationships between the artist and society. Sometimes it examines the artist society to better understand the author's literary works. Other times, it may examine the representation of such societal elements within the literature itself. And next is I will explain about biographical approach. This approach views literature as a reflection of an author's life and time, or of the character's life and times. It is necessary to know about the author and the political, economical, and sociological context of his time in order to truly understand his works. However, biographical data should amplify the meaning of the text, not to drown it out with irrelevant material. Okay, I think that's enough from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Now I will explain about gender approach. This approach examines how sexual identity influences the reaction and reception of literary works, originally an offshoot of feminist movements. But now, gender approach, including the so-called masculinist approach recently advocated by both Robert Bly. And the last is conclusion. Literary approach are method, technique, and choice that a writer uses to create a literary work is good. And there are kind of literary interpretation approach. And first is cultural approach. The second is formalistic approach. The third is moral and humanistic approach. The fourth is historical approach. The fifth is impressionistic approach. The sixth is cynical approach. The seventh, sociological approach. The eighth, biographical approach. And the last is gender approach. And that's all about our presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.